never play a hater.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome again to another episode of the One Nation Show. Thank you so much for joining us. We've got my boy Luka Petkovic. He's joining us today. He's a men's health coach in the local community and actually still connected with a lot of athletes and players training, wants to be a player himself. So I'll let you kind of introduce yourself, tell us a bit about your background and what you're up to now.
Absolutely, brother. Thank you. So now, I run my company called Valiant Wellness. So I focus on helping guys just better their lives. You know, it starts obviously with, building bulletproof habits, get in fantastic physical shape, and then how does that transition to your relationships, to your finances, to your family, to your friends? So I always tell people that, fitness and health is just the first kind of pillar of life that you obviously want to be successful at, and then build discipline, build habits that leads to other pillars. In terms of basketball, former hooper, still in the men's leagues. Still feeling good, man. I'm in better shape than a lot of these young kids, so kicking their butts still, some of them, so yeah.
Any name drops?
They know who they are. I'll play any college player one-on-one right now. I mean, just why not? Good cardio. I'm going to be intense, be competitive, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, love it. Awesome, cool. So how long have you been running your company for?
My company, I started it officially about 6 months ago.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, and it's just been a passion. The thing with basketball players too is like we have this external, you see it a lot of the time. So we play college basketball or high school basketball and you have an external pressure to be in shape, right? You got practice, you got coach, you got your lifts, scheduling, right? And then we enter the corporate world, right? I'm 28 years old, so I'm in this way. After you're 24, 25, you enter the corporate world. You don't have practice anymore. You don't have weight team lifts anymore. And guess what? The bad sleep habits, the bad nutritional habits, the bad exercise, they all catch up to you. And what do you see? All the guys that played ball, a lot of them 15, 20 pounds overweight, 30 pounds overweight. They're playing men's leagues, but they don't look the same, right? Drinking beers with the boys, Friday night, Yeah. And it's internal, right? They had the external stuff holding them accountable, making them in great shape. And when they have that no more, the bad habits come in and, they let themselves go. So that happened to me personally. I think I ballooned up to like 215, 220. At one point, I was just a hunky, husky guy. And I just looked myself one day in the mirror and this was about a year ago, 15 months ago, and I said, you know what, this isn't it. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to have a dad bod and not be a dad. I'm not going to be just like an average Joe. And I started on my personal journey and when I experienced the levels of energy, and then, obviously you get the people, hey man, you lose weight, hey, you look different. I want to share and help as many guys as I can, and that's kind of the birth of the company.
Nice, I love that.
Yeah.
Speaking on that, I love how you mentioned, for a lot of people, it's external factors with the team practices, the gym, and playing games that keep you in shape. Whether that kind of slides off after time. It's funny because I found myself in the exact same position where I've not been in shape for many years, and just recently I started working out, and now we're just talking before, right?
Yeah.
And it's starting to get in shape again, and it feels good. And for me personally, that's because I've just kind of been very clear on my intentions of exactly who I want to be. And I'm very dedicated to making that come true. But it's for years, even though I knew what I wanted to do and I had goals and I'm around athletes all the time, I still wasn't working and taking my body as serious as I should. So from your perspective or point of view, what do you think it is that makes people switch from realizing, hey, you know what, I'm living an average life to hey, I need to get back to the standards that I held myself, not because I'm in a team, but because I have self-respect or I have a vision that I'm trying to accomplish. What do you think makes that switch? Because for me personally, it was just an experience, a vacation trip to Brazil, and just it was a great trip and just changed my perspective on life and what I want. But not everyone gets to go to Brazil or travel.
That's true.
So for somebody just in the day-to-day here, what can be that switch?
You know what, it's something called Niagara syndrome, so we kind of go over the Niagara Falls, and usually people at the current situation dictate them, right? You've probably heard someone say, hey man, I'm just going with the flow, right? That's the worst thing you could do in life, because that means that you have no self-direction. Yeah, the current here, hey, you want to drink? You guys want to do this? Yeah, I'll just do what everyone else is doing. And something bad ends up happening usually to people to have a wake-up call. Girlfriend breaks up with them, they get fired from their job, they fall in a sense of depression. And that's usually some sort of wake-up call to people, or a friend passes. Something terrible usually happens to people, and that's their inflection point, right? They have that Niagara syndrome, they go over the waterfall. Doesn't always have to be the case. Someone could say something to you. You could have a best friend say, hey man, your friendship could break up, your business could fail. Something could happen that ends up, making people make this radical shift in their life. But one thing I advise people is don't wait too far. Don't wait until you're 30 pounds overweight and your girlfriend breaks up with you. Don't wait till your confidence is zero. Don't wait till you're depressed and you feel like a bag of crap and then you say, now I want to make the change, right? Then it becomes a lot harder, right? The journey's a lot longer. I would say always have self-reflection. Every week, every month, look at yourself in the mirror, journal, where am I? What did I get done this week? How do I look? Right? People want to lose weight and get in shape. One of the biggest mistakes they make, they don't even weigh themselves. When I work with some of my clients, I said the first thing we're going to do is we're going to weigh ourselves every morning. What's measured is managed, right? You brush your teeth, they say, yeah. So now you're going to weigh yourself. Before you brush your teeth every morning, you weigh yourself. You need data. You need to see if you're improving. And then when you see that data, then it becomes addicting. Because then you see the scale going down, you feel good, you feel more energy. So I would say my biggest piece of it, don't wait for something bad to happen to you. Don't wait for negativity to seep into your life for you to say, okay, now I need to make a change. Reflect and just ask yourself, am I happy where I am? Is this all I want in my life? And usually the answer is going to be no. Okay, then do something about it. Yeah.
I love that. And even continuing, I guess this is more like a question for me as well, because obviously when you first decide to make that change, like anything in life is something you was excited, you're committed. Everyone's committed the first time.
Oh yeah, January 1st, baby. Gym membership, let's go. I'm motivated, come on.
Right.
Motivation's bullshit. I say it in my Instagram posts all the time. A guy told me motivation is external, and then inspiration is an alternate. You might watch this podcast and say, yeah, I want to go train, I love it. Guess what? Next Tuesday, 5:30 a.m., pissing rain, it's dark, the sun, we get 5 hours of sunlight here. Are you still not motivated? Because that motivation will fade.
Yeah.
I've watched every motivational video there is on YouTube. That motivation will fade. So what's the reason that you wake up in the morning? Why do you get up? Everyone else is sleeping. I got a thing I call Psycho Saturdays. I do like a psychotic workout on Saturdays. We run 10, 15, 20K, and then we go lift at the gym. We meet at a spot, and then we run to a gym and lift and run back. Someone said, oh man, why do you do that? Why do you wake up in the morning, 5 a.m. on a Saturday? Everyone's sleeping in. Why not? External motivation is never gonna take you anywhere long enough. External motivation is, man, you look good. Hey, you lose weight. Hey, guys, right? I work with men all the time. Yeah, I wanna pick up chicks. I wanna feel confident, I'm great. When it is pissing rain, it's dark, you have horrible sleep, you don't feel well, you are not going to wake up and train because some hypothetical girl, that's number you want to get, or you want a compliment from someone. The external is never going to fuel you as much as your internal desire. So one of the things I work with my clients, find your why, your powerful why. The reason that you can wake up every single morning, no matter how you feel, no matter how much sleep you had, that's going to get your ass out of bed and you're going to get into the gym. What is that reason? And a lot of people don't even have that reason. So no one, when you say, hey, everyone's motivated in the beginning, yeah, that's external motivation, external. They don't even know why. Hey, why are you in the gym at 5:15 in the morning on a Tuesday? Why are you doing that, right? Find that reason. That's the first step I work with a lot of clients. Week 1, coaching call 1, why are you here? What do you want to get out of this, right? And I call it the layers of why. You'll have reasons like, so I call it kind of getting deeper, like 7 layers of why. You'll have someone say, hey man, why do you want to get in great shape? Oh, I want to have muscles. Okay, great. Everyone wants to have muscles. Give me a little bit deeper. I want to look good. Okay, great. I don't think anyone on this planet wakes up and says, I want to look ugly, right? We all want to look good, right? Okay, you want to look good. Okay, great. Next thing, you want to look good. Why do you want to look good? Well, I want to be confident. You want to gain confidence. Well, why do you want to gain confidence? Well, I want to gain confidence so I can start a business, okay, or I can approach women, I can get girls. Okay, why do you want to get a girlfriend? Girls. Well, I'm lonely, and if I die, like, it goes so many layers deeper that, you know, a lot of people are just number one reason, they're just top level why. Hey, I just want to have muscles. I just want to have big biceps. Well, buddy, that's gonna fade, right? Or I just want to, you know, attract women. Great, but why? So getting to those deeper levels is gonna fuel you.
Yeah, and how important is it to revisit that often? And how often should somebody visit that?
Every day.
Cool, I agree with that.
Every single day in my journal, I write in the morning. When I wake up first thing, I read my powerful why. In the evening, I read my powerful why. So there's no hesitation. I'm reminding myself every day, why the hell am I even waking up? Why am I doing this? Because it's so much easier to not do anything.
Yeah.
Like you said, everyone knows what to do. You're listening to this podcast, you know, eat right, sleep right, hydrate, train hard, push yourself, progressive overload. What's the stat? You're more likely to have a six-pack, be a millionaire in the US than have a six-pack.
Really?
Right, yeah. Some stat I read the other day. And it's like, everyone knows what to do, but no one does it, right? And another big thing people do, because I work a lot with guys, egos, right? Bro, 5 days is nothing. 5 days is nothing. So you do 5 days, they'll eat right, they'll train right for 5 days. Saturday, Sunday rolls around. Drinks, partying, you know, they're eating junk food, they're justifying themselves. Bro.
I've never even understood that, because it's like two things. One, you're basically going backwards in everything that you're working towards, which doesn't really make sense if you do it on a regular basis. Secondly, for me, I don't understand how people can do it, because like, how do you maintain a regular schedule or routine week to week when you're basically destroying it every weekend? And even I, when I was younger, used to be like that, and it's like I never saw the results that I really wanted to see.
Of course,
it's never so obvious why.
Of course.
You know? And even now, it's like I almost never go out. I go out like maybe for a birthday or something once every month or two, just whatever.
Yeah.
But then it's like weekends, and for my job, it's easy because I also work on weekends with events and the kids, so it's easy for me to like don't party because I'm making money.
Yeah.
But regardless, so it's so much easier for me to stay disciplined and be consistent like I've been the last couple of weeks since I started taking my health serious, because it's like my weekends, I'm still up early.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still working out regularly every day. It doesn't matter whether it's weekend, week, or a weekday. So that's huge.
Yeah, exactly. And you made a really good point there is, why do people reward all their hard work with decisions that self-sabotage them? Logically, it doesn't make any sense. It's like, think about it. You're eating great all week, and then you decide, you know what? I'm just going to eat in a caloric deficit for 2 days, eliminate all my hard work and the good decisions I made, and be back at square one. Right? It's like running a marathon, getting halfway there, and just turning around halfway and saying, no, I'm going back to the starting line. Going back to the starting line. Wait, what are you doing? You're halfway done. No. I want to eliminate all the miles I ran, eliminate it all. The 20 kilometers I just ran, let me go backwards. But that's what people are doing every day.
Yeah.
Right? So you think about it, why do people do that now? That's the bigger question. Why do people self-sabotage?
That's a deep question. I mean, if you were to ask me that, I personally, from my experience, think it's just a lack of clarity, lack of clarity, understanding on your purpose, why you're here, and what you're trying to do, and what you're trying to get out of life. Because it's more than just the moments that we're living. It's more than just ourselves. It's like life in this world. It's like, really, what is our purpose being on this earth, and how can we attach that to the greater good of man, or however you want to phrase it. But that's like something I've had to really dig deep. And it's like, you know, for me personally, it's like, why am I getting in shape now? Why is health important? Why is, you know, being better with my business, being more organized, because that's something I really was bad at last year. Why is that so important for me now? And for me personally, it's like, at the end of the day, why I haven't got into anything I'm doing now with media and youth, basketball and all that, is because I was once that kid who yearned for an opportunity. And not to go into details, but like, I personally didn't have the best upbringing with my family. I didn't have anything crazy or domestic violence or nothing like that. But it's like, for the success my parents had, I feel like there's a lot more that we could have had beyond success. I think we could have had just more, you know, nurturing, more care, more attention to like the child's dream, rather than just, I mean, we're Africans, so like, you know,
what part of
Nigeria?
So, Nigeria.
So it's just like, go to school, these are the rules, like respect your elders, and what they say is final. It's fine, you know, that was the culture. But I just feel like, at least with my mindset and my creativity and ability, imagine if the things that I wanted to do were fostered at a younger age, you know, and it's like, hey, well, there's probably a million kids out there who have dreams, who are probably in worse positions than me, or maybe better, but just don't have that outside guidance or inner guidance that they need in their inner circle. And maybe I can be a voice for that person. And for me, sometimes when I feel like not doing it or giving up or whatever, I think about, you know, my childhood and some of the things that scarred me till like my early mid-20s, and I just healed, you know, the last few years from like my early teenage years, as you know. It's like if I could help another kid avoid that,
Yeah.
that would mean the world. And I know some kids that have gone down the wrong roads. I know some players that are drug addicts, you know, that I used to coach,
Yeah.
which is crazy.
Yeah.
And I try to connect with them and their families and do what I can, the little I can. But it's like, I just think, what more could I have done to stop that, right? And it's like, when you start looking at it from that perspective, it's way bigger than yourself. It's like your mission, your purpose has to be bigger than you.
100%.
And if it's not, then why would you wake up?
100%.
You know, why would you put in that work?
Exactly. It's well said, man. It has to be a bigger reason than you. Like for me, I want to help as many guys as possible, not just getting in fantastic shape, but be confident, be level up. You know, you ask me, why do people fail or why do people self-sabotage every Saturday, Sunday? I see it all the time. Because they're not the guy yet. When I work with someone, it's not enough to tell you, hey, eat in a caloric deficit, train hard, wake up early. You're not that guy. If you were that guy, you'd be shredded, you'd have a six-pack, you'd look the way you want to look. You don't have the habits. So it's a very long process, usually 90 days of meticulous, booyah, every day, same thing, every day, until you form a new identity. That's the biggest mistake people have to make. You have to become your 2.0 version, a person with a different mindset, different habits, attacks problems differently. When he has a setback, does he go, oh, woe is me, or does he get through it? Completely different person. You know, the one thing I tell people all the time is every September people line up to upgrade their iPhones, but they don't upgrade their minds. They don't upgrade their bodies. Hey, I'll spend $20,000 on technology this year, but they won't spend $5,000 to live better, to wake up earlier, to have better sleep, to make better decisions. Because I tell my clients that, okay, so they tell you, oh, it's 80% nutrition, it's 20% training. Yeah, and then I tell them, but it's 100% mindset. And I bought every fitness program underneath the sun, and my problem wasn't after I played basketball, I don't know how to do an arm curl. My problem was that every Friday or Saturday, I was gluttonous. Yeah, let me have, you know, the bag of chips while eating Netflix. And now there's a bad approach that people take. They say, hey, you can't have chips. What do you want to do? You want to have chips, naturally. That's not the right approach. You want to be the guy that doesn't want chips, where you're mentally so strong, I don't need chips, I don't want chips, I don't earn for chips. Yeah, go ahead and have them, but you don't want them. And that's mental strength. And a lot of people, what they do is they do the avoidance technique. If you're talking about going out, you want to go out, great. If you struggle with alcohol, obviously, you know, a lot of guys, they don't want to drink, then they drink, or drugs, or, you know, candy. The avoidance technique is gonna make you break eventually, because you're gonna be put in a social setting where there is alcohol, or there is junk food, or there is drugs. You're gonna fail. True mental strength is, can I put myself, I said this to one of my friends today, if I love donuts, and I love donuts, I love donuts, I don't eat many of them. Mental strength is, can I walk into a Tim Hortons at 9 a.m., 8 a.m. and go, fresh batch of donuts come out, and can I go, yeah, I'm okay, I don't need one? Or am I gonna drive by every Tim Hortons and go like this for the rest of my life? Oh God, no, don't show me Tim Hortons. They're on every street corner. One aspect, one approach is gonna make me fail. It's always gonna make me fail, because eventually that one day is gonna come where I say, I want that Tim Hortons so badly. And have that, whatever. But the other one is, can I go and be that mentally strong? And most people can't. And I tell them, mental strength is not avoiding the problem. It's putting yourself deep in the middle of the problem and saying, yeah, I'm good. I don't need this. Then you've truly mastered your mind. Because last time I checked, no one has a gun to your head to force you to eat a donut or to have a drink. You know, I was at a concert, Burna Boy, Nigeria, your fellow Nigerian last week. And
I was so sad I couldn't go to that. Yeah. I was working. I was like, seeing people's stories, like, oh my God. But
I got free tickets. I was at a box with my friend Connor. If you're listening, thank you.
Shout out Connor.
Shout out Connor and Emma. Hey, and there was people there. They had tequila, right? They have a box. They have tequila. Everyone's having a great time. Guy goes, hey, do you want to have a drink? I said, no, I'm good. 5 minutes later, come on, have a drink. And that's the thing where people are missing. It's easy to get locked in. It's Tuesday, Wednesday night, you're by yourself. Great, you're locked in. What are you doing Friday and Saturday when you have those external pressures Come on, drink, man. Have a good one. Come on. Do you go, hey, no, I'm good? And do the people, do they look at you funny? You're going to be weird. What the fuck? This guy doesn't want to drink. We're at Burna Boy concert, man. Have a drink. What's wrong with you? First of all, it's a Tuesday. Second of all, I don't like to drink. Third, I want to be up at 5 a.m. and destroy a workout tomorrow morning. But that's my identity. That's Luka 2.0. He doesn't drink. Doesn't matter. I'm at a concert where everyone's drinking. Another example, Morgan Wallen, one of my favorite artists, country singer. Went to his concert. It's a country concert. Literally everyone is drunk, I think. Had water. Had sparkling water all day. Not because don't have a drink, it's because I don't drink. That's not my identity. And there's not 1 ounce of me that was put in that arena that said, maybe I should have a drink. That little voice, maybe I should have this. So that's how I test myself. And actually one of my friends who's, sometimes drinking, not drinking, I brought him to the concert as a test. I said, can you sit here for 2.5 hour concert, everyone around you drinking and you not drink? Because that's true mental strength. And he's like, oh, I don't want to go to the concert. Then you're not testing yourself. You're just avoiding the challenge that's eventually going to come in your life, right? And a lot of people do that because it's easier just to, no, this is pushed away. No, next week, next month. You don't get any better because it's uncomfortable, right? And if you're uncomfortable, you got to be uncomfortable to change, to grow, right? So I think people are afraid of that. Most people, they don't want that challenge, but it's a challenge how you're going to grow. It's how you're going to get better, right? Yeah. So face the challenge on. Bring it on, baby. I want the challenge, right?
Yeah.
Because it's only going to mold me as a man and make me stronger.
Yeah, that's huge. That's huge. I love that. I was lost in that. I forgot my train of thought.
That's okay. Sorry.
No,
I know I ramble.
Yeah, no.
I just love this.
Yeah, that's good for sure. I'm even thinking about like the whole concept of like challenging yourself and like throwing yourself into the problem and being able to be strong. Oh yes, this is what I was thinking. I was thinking like that a big thing that helps, at least from my perspective, is knowledge. I feel like a lot of people don't hold strong to whatever they want to do because of a lack of knowledge of the reason behind what they're doing. So for example, just going back to like the health thing, one thing that's really helped me with watching my calories and watching what I eat and making it easy for me to say yes to the vegetables and whatnot, and less like the processed food, is by doing my research. Just doing my homework and understand like what exactly is happening when I take X amount of grams of sugar and put it into my body. What's happening to my bones when I'm drinking all this pop? What's happened to, how does it affect my muscles recovering when I'm drinking alcohol? Like if you actually do your research and look into everything, you start to realize, okay, when I'm doing this, I'm having a pleasure in the moment. I'm enjoying the moment. But I told myself, like for me personally, I told myself I want to go back to Brazil next year and I want to be in shape. I want to be jacked. I want to be, living life. I mean, it doesn't have to be in Brazil, but in general,
of course,
be healthy. And that's my vision that I've locked in, and I'm so focused on that. And it's like, okay, so when I'm drinking pop and I'm seeing how it can affect the bone structure of my body, when I'm, eating all these different things, and I'm seeing how it's negatively impacting me, and I'm thinking about that, right? Every time I see that food, it's easy for me to say no, because like every day for me, I read and write my goals every single day, and then it just makes it easy for it to stay fresh in my mind, right? So then when I see a donor, see whatever, not that any of these things are wrong, it's just know what you want and do what you need to do to get what you want. Okay? So it's like I know what I want, and I know if I eat all these different things, it's not going to help me. And it's like I see myself being fat in Rio again, and I don't want to be fat in Rio. I want to be jacked. So when I see that, I see fat, I'm like, I don't want that.
I love what you said there. Are these things going to help me? One of the things I tell people, guys I work with, number one super simple exercise is I don't like to say, hey, this is a good, healthy, unhealthy food, because then there's a negative mentality. Oh, I ate this donut, I feel so bad. They feel like shit. Simple exercises. Let's turn on our conscious brain. When you eat something that I like to call a low energy food, it doesn't make, two foods for me are high energy, low energy. They make me feel good, give me good energy, or I'm in a food coma, I gotta take a nap, right? A lot of people don't even consciously think. I'll give you an example. Okay, what'd you have for breakfast on Tuesday?
On Tuesday, probably 3 eggs.
Okay, what'd you have for lunch on Monday?
I don't remember.
There you go. That was 48 hours ago. That's my point. We don't remember what we eat, right? So how can you expect people to know what's healthy, unhealthy, this or that? They don't even know how they feel. So one of the exercises, super simple, I have with people is, okay, for 7 days, you're gonna write down what you eat every day. After each meal, you're gonna write down what you eat. And tell me how you feel right after. You get the sugar, right? You get the boom, the sugar spike. And then how do you feel 2 hours after, 3 hours after? And people have never done this. And then they realize, they're like, man, every time I have that freaking queso burrito, I feel like a bag of crap at work, and I'm so unproductive in my office from 1 to 4. It's like, okay, do that for a whole week. And then we come back and we say, okay, let's do an audit. Look at all these foods that made you feel bad. Let's just eliminate those foods for a week. All of a sudden, people are like, whoa, I have way more energy. I don't crash. I don't do this. I don't do that. Yeah. But the first thing is people aren't even conscious of the foods that they're eating. And that's what's making them crash. Because it's so easy now, hey, a little snack here, a little snack there, let me grab this, let me grab that. And what it ends up happening, you don't even know. So that's why it's so ridiculous. People don't even know what they're eating. Then we want to put them on this like diet right away, eat these foods and only do this. It's like, whoa, first of all, let's identify the foods that take away energy from us. And not say, hey, they're bad foods, don't eat them. If you eat them, it's terrible. Of course, you're gonna eventually have a cheat day, but you gotta ask yourself a question. Do I wanna have energy now? What does the rest of my day look like? If it's 12 o'clock and I'm in downtown Vancouver and I have a lunch and I have an important meeting at 2, do you think I wanna take my energy away? Or do I wanna be light sharp for 2 p.m.? I wanna be light sharp, right? I wanna be sharp, I wanna be good. So that's also looking at food as it serves us. Right? And a lot of people don't look at food that way. Like it's actually going to serve you and help you in your job, in your business, in your career. And a lot of people just say good food, bad food. Or they do this approach. All they do is focus on the foods they can eat. Oh, Luka said I can't eat this, I can't. I tell my clients, eat whatever the hell you want. But don't expect to be full of energy, jacked, mentally alert, aware, feeling great when you're eating crap. Low energy foods. You'll have low energy. Do you want to have low energy? And everyone just says, no, I don't. Well, then you gotta eat better foods, make better choices. And it's not complicated. It's not complicated at all. It's just about consistency and making the right decisions every day.
Facts.
Right?
And that's done by knowing what you want with clarity.
Exactly.
Seeing it every day, writing it down every day, reading it to yourself every day.
Yeah. And the impact of what you eat. People never think like, hey, if I go and have a very heavy set meal that's gonna take a lot of energy away, how's that gonna affect my job later, if I got a podcast I'm coming on later, if I'm going on a date with a girl, how is that gonna affect the rest of my day? Yeah, it might be lunch at 12, but it might affect me for the next 6 hours. Yeah. And people never think about it. They just think about, oh, meal, I'm hungry, food, now in front of me, eat, do. Right? So it's like conscious. I get it. When you're starving, what do? You just go, boom, I wanna eat right away. Slow down for a second. Eat what? Why? Why are you eating that? Why do you want to eat that? How are you going to feel after you eat that? Is that the best decision? Is that serving you? Right? We only got one engine, right? I want to put the 95 premium in this thing so I can operate at my highest levels. So, yeah, that's the first set, the mindset of nutrition for a lot of people.
Yeah, huge, man. I love it.
It is, yeah.
And it's challenging because I'm even thinking like, the key to this, and this takes a lot of energy in my opinion, is the constant questioning of each decision. I can't remember what book I read this in. I think it's How to Influence and Influence People, but I might be completely wrong. I might be thinking Grow Rich. I don't know. One of those books. The author was saying how between a moment of something happening to you and your response, there's a window of time where you can make a decision on how you're going to respond. And it's like the more aware you are of that window, the more clear you can be on what decision you want to make. And I think that's important. It does take awareness, it does take energy to constantly be like, okay, this decision I'm about to make, how's it going to affect me? How's it going to affect the people around me? How's it going to affect my goals? Is it bringing me closer? Is it bringing me further away? And it's like you can get to a point where you're like almost overdoing it, but are you really overdoing it? Yeah. Like people think you're crazy, but are you crazy or are they crazy because they're just living in the moment and you're the one chasing your goals and dreams? Exactly. Right? So it's definitely huge. Just this decision I'm about to make, how is it going to affect me? How am I going to feel? Is it leading me in the direction that I said I want to go? Yeah. Or is it not? And just asking yourself that with every decision you're making in life ultimately. Exactly. And going back to nutrition, you can go down that rabbit hole where you're then having an internal conversation with yourself. But for some of my clients, I don't want to overwhelm them in the beginning. So it's super simple. You have a piece of food, just ask yourself, is this going to give me energy or am I going to feel like shit? Or is it going to take away energy?
Oh, it's gonna make me feel good. Do I wanna feel good? Yeah, I do. Boom, make the right choice. Keep it simple in the beginning. Just ask yourself that internal question. And most people don't even ask, right? Just ask that. And usually people say, well, I wanna feel good, obviously. Well, okay. Then how about not have the McDonald's? You think having the McDonald's is gonna make you feel good? It feels great when you're eating it, and then 2 hours later, you're like, oh, I just need to lay down.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't even feel good while you're eating it. You're just doing it because you're drunk.
Yeah, that too.
Most people be doing.
That's too. 2 a.m. 2 a.m. Yeah. So that's self-sabotage, though. But it's a great segue, because that's how one domino leads to another. It leads to another. You've been great all week. You drink a couple drinks. Not a big deal. I always tell this to people. People ask me, they say, Luka, can I have a hamburger? Can I have a pizza? I said, yeah. No one gets fat from having one hamburger, one slice of pizza, or a little thing of chips. You have the whole pizza, 5 burgers, the whole bag of chips. And it's like, okay, let me have one drink, right? And again, it goes back to discipline and the mindset, how strong you are. Can I go to a bar with you and say, I'm having one drink? I said it. My word is my bond. I'm having one. You have one. If you can, great. I could one drink, that's it. But a lot of people, 1 leads to 2, 2 leads to 5, 5 is 10. Okay, I'm drunk now. Now instead of ingesting 200 calories, I ingest 1,700, just drinking alcohol. Well, I'm hungry now, I'm drunk. It's been a long night. Let me go stop and get that McDonald's at 2, 3 a.m. Another 800 calories.
Yeah, maybe more. You're getting like 3 Big Macs.
Yeah, 3 bags. Next thing you know, 1,000 calories, 1,500. Next thing you know, you step on a scale Monday morning, you're like, what the hell, man? I've been good all week. I've been so good. No, you haven't. There's 7 days in a week. You've been getting good 5 days. You haven't been good all week. And your body does not care if it's a Monday, if it's a Tuesday, or if it's a Sunday or Saturday. Like I said in one of my posts, it doesn't know the difference between a Tuesday night at home or a Friday night with the boys. It does not care. So then people omit that, because no one's ever gonna say, yeah, I was an undisciplined piece of crap on the weekends and I cheated. They'll rather go, you know what, I'm big boned. I'm big boned, the weight just can't come off me, or you know what, this diet's not working. I tried keto, I'm gonna go carnivore now. Let me just hop from diet to diet. All diets are the same. They put you in a caloric deficit, you lose weight, right? You just gotta be consistent. All of them work. That's why I don't ever preach, do this or do that. But again, that takes reflection, like when we started the conversation. That takes you going back like, yeah, I was bad on Saturday and Sunday. I wasn't my best. I wasn't my better and improved self. I was my weak self. And then not doing that next week. But some people, which is sad, do that for years, 20 years, 30 years. And if you don't believe me, go to your local gym and see the same guy, see him next year, he's in the same shape.
Yo, oh my God, I've never understood that. I've seen that even here.
Yeah.
I remember, like, now I'm consistent, but I remember, like, before I go to the gym, like, literally once a month, I don't know why, I just never liked the gym.
Yeah.
Except, I was like, I'll go once a month. Because to me, now it's pointless, because I'm not playing for anything, right?
Yeah.
I'm not competing, so it's like, why do I need to do this? I didn't have my sense of purpose. But anyways, I've been seeing the same people going, like, regularly, and I know they're consistent, and I'm like, man, your body is the exact same. And maybe their goal is not to, like, change how they look, but to me, it's like, then why even, like, I don't know. I find that so funny.
They eat and do something to not be obese, which I just find like mediocrity. And I just can't believe living like that. Like, I'll see people at Barry's boot camp or F45 classes gutting themselves, heart rate 185, they're drenched in sweat. They look the same 6 months later, 7 months later. Because it doesn't matter. I said this to a buddy of mine. I said, it doesn't matter if you go to F45 6 days a week for 45 minutes. Even an hour, that's 6 hours a week. There's what, 148 hours in a week, something like that? Your 6 hours means nothing. And that's the biggest mistake people make in the fitness industry is you're working out. You can work out hard for 5-6 days a week, but then you go home and you snack like crazy. 8 p.m., you put on Netflix, you snack like crazy. You go out and drink on the weekends. You put sauces on things that you don't even know how much calories they have. You have a couple beers. Oh, it's a couple beers. Next thing you know, you drank 1,000 calories more. And then they have no results. And for me, it's like, whoa, you gutted yourself all week and you're back to square one. You are in the exact same, and that's what I did for years. I personally did that. And I was just like, what the hell, man? And what did I do? Let me buy another fitness program. Let me watch this YouTube influencer, right? But I wasn't honest with myself. It's not the fitness program. It's not the influencer. It's that I fundamentally was not disciplined enough. I didn't have the mindset. And it's funny, when you twist that mindset, you shift, boom, the weight comes off quick. The results don't take long, especially if you have like an athletic background. Lifting, it does not take long to get the results that you want, right? And I tell people this when I work with them. I don't want to be your coach for years. I want to work with you for 3 to 6 months and you are a new person. If you need me to remind you the choices, we have failed. You have failed, I have failed with you. And that's what I also don't like about the personal training, all this. It's like, let me just work with this person so that I'm their crutch. Not that they're self-sufficient on their own, they can do this without me. I want you to spread your wings and fly, right? My biggest, I want my client, that's why I tell my clients, beat me. One of my clients says, I'm gonna beat you in a race. I'm gonna do this, great. Beat me in a race. I kick his ass by like fucking an hour right now. But the thing is, he wants it. Great, nothing would make me happier because he would have to level up so much, right? So that's the thing with people, man. Your 1 hour F45 Barry's bootcamp classes, you erase it all if you don't have the habits and the discipline. That starts with the why and the reflection, and it starts with like, why are you even here, right? And it's sad. It's sad to see that people gut themselves to stay where they are because they know, hey, with their bad habits, they'd probably get really fat and obese and, you know, have health problems. So they're just kind of like average. And they have the Apple Watches, as I wear an Apple Watch and a Whoop. They have all this stuff, but then it's like, again, they justify. You know what I used to do, which is one of the worst things you could do? I used to wear an Apple Watch and burn 500-600 calories, let's say playing basketball or tennis. And I would say to myself, wow, I've earned myself a donut. And I would just eat, okay, I burned 600, the donut's 300, I still got a calorie deficit of 200. That is such a wrong mindset. Because what am I doing there? I'm telling myself, let me reward my hard work again with something bad. Let me reward myself instead of being like, why do I want a donut? Is that all I want? That's what I want to reward myself with? I feel amazing right now when I want to take that energy away. Again, mindset. And people do that all the time. They justify. Hey man, you've been good. Have the donut, have the pizza. You've been good, have the drink. You haven't drank all week, come on. Little voice in your head. Be good. It's okay. Pick it off. Fuck that voice. Like Goggins says, kill that voice, right? And then we got to be raw accountability. We live in a culture now where it's better to be nice and fake than to be raw and honest and help people. And some people can't take it. I've ripped into some friends and guys. But it's like, I'm telling you this because I love you. Do you want me to tell you everything's okay? Great. Well, I'm never going to be that guy. You're fat, you're lazy, you have no discipline. I'm not going to be like, yeah, keep doing what you're doing. You're okay the way you are, like Jordan Peterson says. You're okay the way you are. No, you're not. Never be content. It's always continual growth as a man. You should never be like, oh, okay, I made it, I'm good, I'm just going to stay here. And you know what? That's the one thing that just blows my mind. Is that people that are in far worse shape, but it's not even about me, but far worse shape than me, will do a little bit, and then they'll just be like, okay, let me take a week off, or I've been good, let me do this. I'm working like I'm 400 pounds and obese in the gym. I'm training like I have nothing, because I'm constantly pursuing new heights. Never gonna just stop and say, oh yeah, let me take that. I said it to my friend the other day, I said, I really don't like vacations. And don't get me wrong, vacations.
I'm the opposite.
Yeah.
I like my
He likes vacations.
This is one point we disagree on.
No, but this is the thing. I've gone on vacations, and I get it. You go to Mexico and Hawaii, you lay on the beach for 7 days. I can't do that. That's just me personally. I can't lay on a beach and be like, today I'm gonna lay in suntan, eat food, lay in suntan, go in the water, lay in suntan, go in the water, eat food. That to me, this sounds weird, is torturous. That is so boring. What am I supposed to do? Okay, I've laid in the sun for 48 hours. Okay, great. I burnt my skin. I'm great. Awesome. Now what? I always got to be doing something. I always got to be taking on action, challenging. Like, I have a whole day set out. For me, like a Sunday, I like to recharge. But I can't do that for like a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks anymore, because now it's just like, oh my goodness. Yeah. Right? Then I just feel like, whoa, I got to go do something. This is just too, like, I'm bored, too bored. So I always try and stack my day with so many things to do every day. So I earn my sleep, right? I want to earn. When my head hits that pillow, I want to earn that rest. Yeah. Not just give it just because, like, oh, it's time to go to bed. No, earn your sleep. Right, so.
Yeah, that's huge. Okay, no, I agree with you on the vacation point there. I'm definitely active when I have my vacations.
Yeah. No, for me, when I vacation, great gym. I try and get like 15,000 steps a day. I try and see things. Yeah. Like, I'm so psychopath. I went to Barcelona one time. I didn't want to Uber anywhere. So I remember steps was like 46,000. I just said, I'm just going to walk the entire city.
That's so funny. I did the exact same thing when I went to Sao Paulo the first 3 days. I was like, I'm going to discover this place. I literally would, like, from the place I was staying, I would just like walk like 8-10 blocks literally, and I'll just go one street down and I'll walk. And I did that for like, I don't know, man. I did that for a couple hours each morning.
Yeah.
That's like what I did for like 3 hours every morning. And I think that's probably why I started losing so much weight.
Of course.
Just doing that, and I just continued that and continued staying healthy when I came back. But anyways, yeah, I love that. I was the exact same way for a few days. But,
yeah.
Cool. Anyways, I know we're going to start wrapping up soon, but I got a question to ask you. So obviously we've got a lot of people that'll be watching this. Hopefully we're impacting different
for sure
through this. And I'm sure there's going to be a good amount of people who are watching this and are average, which is nothing wrong with being average, right? People in this world are average. I was just average like a month ago, and it's only now I'm trying to level up in the areas of my health. So like people who are watching this, me a month and a half ago watching this, who I know what I want to have, but I wasn't clear, I wasn't pushing, or whatever reason or excuse or BS that I'm not chasing my goals. What would you tell them to help them change their mindset to become more disciplined and to chase that relentlessly and to find their why?
What I would tell them is that whatever goal you achieve for yourself, you'll never reach it just being average. And if you're okay being average, are you okay being average? You truly reflect and ask yourself, am I okay just being where I am? And a lot of people don't realize that to change, you're gonna have to suffer. You're gonna have to have discipline. When everybody's going out, you're gonna have to say no. If people are drinking, you're gonna have to say no. You're gonna have to wake up early. You're gonna have nights where you don't sleep very well. But is it worth it? Is the thing that you're pursuing more powerful than all those reasons? And I think that helps people in the beginning, which is a really big one, is the people that you hang out around. I'm sorry, you're not gonna have a lot of friends. You're not gonna have hundreds of friends. People think, I got so many friends. No, you don't. Who do you got at 3 a.m. is gonna be like, yo, let's go for a run at 4 a.m. Okay, let's do it. Who's gonna say, yeah, I'm down, right? And you're going to lose a lot of friends in this pursuit. And not just that you're going to lose them, you're just going to be so locked in on what you're doing. They're going to ask, hey, let's do this. No, I can't, sorry. No, I can't. And this is how you find your true friends, your true brothers. Does someone go to you and say, hey, do you want to drink? And you say no. And they go, what the hell, man? What's wrong with you? Why don't you drink? Or do they go, damn, I want to be like that guy. You made me think, I want to be better. Aren't they on the same path as you? And people fail a lot of the times because of the external pressure, the people they're around, right? The old saying, you are the five, you end up, show me your friends, show you your future, right? You are the sum of the 5 people you hang out with. They make their lives a lot harder because the people around them don't want that greatness. You might not want to be average, but the 4 friends, your close friends, they're okay with it. They're just, okay, this is my job, I'm gonna rent in Vancouver, it's so expensive, I'll never buy property, this is what I'll do, okay, great. But then don't expect, like, you're fighting an uphill battle at that point. You're making your life a lot harder because those people, although you might say, no, they're not going to influence, they will eventually influence you. You spend too much time with them, you'll eventually be like, okay, 1 drink, or okay, I'll stay up, or I'll eat that with you guys. So, number 1, have a reflection on who you hang out with. Who do you spend the most time with? What is their mindset like? And if you don't like it, well, you might have to cut them out of your life. Or not even cut them out, just spend less time with them because you're more locked in. Because your powerful why has to be stronger than the external pressure of them saying, drink, come out, do this, do this. This has to be stronger. And in the beginning, the easiest way is just not to have that external pressure, just avoid it until you become the man that his mindset could be in the middle, like I was saying, of that situation and not break. So that would be my first advice, who you surround yourself with. And the second piece of advice is consistency is key, man. You can't do 3 or 4 days and then want the gratification. Nothing will change. If you're on your weight journey right now, you're not where you want to be. Yeah, you might have a good week or two, but the scale's not going to go down 20 pounds in that time. So it's about forget the delayed gratification. Forget the girl saying, oh, you look so great. Hey, did you lose weight? Forget the extra likes on Instagram. And just keep focusing on the process. The goal, you should take your goal, write it down, and put it somewhere deep. Because I'll give everyone an analogy. It's imagine running a marathon and you're in kilometer 2 and you're thinking of kilometer 42. All you're gonna do is be like, damn, that is so far from me. And it's gonna eat at you mentally, your mindset. It's gonna weaken you. It's like what Goggins says. He says, if you can take the next step, just focus on the next step. So for people, just the process every single day. So for when I work with my clients, I tell them every single day what they have to do. We don't talk about your goal weight. We don't talk about six-pack, how many abs. That will come because I know that all the end goal is just a compounding effect of the daily decisions you've made over a long period of time. So break it down, super simple. Like if you are weak and your goal is do 5 push-ups a day, great, do 5 push-ups. Write it down, check it off. Next day, do 6. Eventually build up. You might say, oh, that's not a big goal. What's so big? It's not about the small goal. It's about you having integrity, your word and your mind being ironclad, that I said I'm gonna do something, I wrote it down, I did it. And slowly start building. Because I get it, we're guys. Hey, I wanna be jacked, I wanna have women, I wanna have cars. Great, that's great. Bro, we gotta start with making your bed. We gotta start with cleaning your room, man. Your kitchen's a mess, right? Start small and build it up, level up. And that's the biggest thing I'll tell them. Start small, level up, and make sure the people around you are serving you. If they're not, you might have to go dark, 0 dark 30 for 60, 90 days. Hey, where's Luka? I haven't seen him. Where's he at? He's locked in, right? Every time I call you, your phone's on do not disturb. Yeah, it is. Don't disturb me, right? So I think that would be my 2 biggest pieces of advice. The people, surround yourself with great people, reflect on who you're surrounded with, and start super small, be consistent, and focus on the process, not the goal.
Yeah. I love it, man. That's
Yeah.
Cool. And then one last question to wrap up. How would you define the word discipline or being disciplined?
Being disciplined, it's doing shit that you don't feel like doing, you don't want to do, but you do it anyways. You don't feel like doing it whatsoever, but you still do it anyways. That's being disciplined. And I think that there's a quote, and we can end it on this quote. It said, suffer now, suffer today the pain of discipline instead of suffering tomorrow the pain of regret. So just do what you're supposed to do, man. You know what, everyone listening to this knows what they're supposed to do, but they don't feel like it. Well, that's not discipline then. You're not gonna feel like doing things, but you gotta get them done anyways. That's how I define discipline. When you don't feel like doing something, you do it anyways, right? Yeah.
Awesome. Fire.
Awesome.
Love it. We'll end it on that. Thank you guys for watching. Luka, my man, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, brother.
Yeah, this is exciting. This is awesome. Looking forward, man. We'll definitely have to run this back another time.
Absolutely. Let's go. Awesome.
Awesome. All right, y'all. Take care.
Take care.
Hey, I never play. Hey.